Good YouTube, it's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, well-renowned trainer, Hall of Famer, turned colorful analyst and boxing pundit Teddy Atlas, he weighs in on this Saturday's past showdown that took place between undefeated two-time WBC super middleweight world champion Mexican Ecuadorian superstar boxer David Benavidez. David Benavidez, he defeated David LEMIEUX via third-round stoppage, knockout victory, okay? Impressive fashion, right? David Benavidez, he never lost his titles, obviously, in the ring. He always lost his titles outside the ring. He lost his title on the scale the last time, and he lost it the first time due to recreational use outside the sport of boxing. And the WBC, World Boxing Council, President Mauricio Suleiman and board of 32 members, they decided that they was going to strip him of the title because they didn't want that representation of their brand. So with that said, he's never obviously lost his belts in the ring, okay? He's undefeated in the ring. He defeated David LEMIEUX, and it got a lot of traction after he defeated David LEMIEUX. And many people, you know, they started to deem him as the Mexican monster. We had somebody that Teddy Atlas is very, very familiar with, legendary, retired, iconic Hall of Fame superstar, former undisputed heavyweight world champion, Iron Mike Tyson, whom Teddy Atlas trained at one point in time. Iron Mike Tyson, he deemed David Benavidez to be the Mexican monster, okay? David Benavidez is now 26 wins, no losses, no draws, 23 big wins by way of knockout. He is 25 years of age, 6'1" with a 75-inch arm reach, okay? So Mike Tyson, you know, he stated that David Benavidez is the Mexican monster and that nobody wants to fight this dude, okay? And so David LEMIEUX, he came into the fight with 43 wins, 4 losses, no draws, 36 wins by way of knockout. 3 times in his career, he was already knocked out at 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 70-inch arm reach, okay? David LEMIEUX, you know, is a big puncher, obviously, and that's what everybody was banking on because David Benavidez doesn't have, you know, he doesn't have the best defense in the sport of boxing, okay, just say the least. And so because of that, you know, many people, you know, thought it was going to be entertaining. It turned out to be definitely an entertaining fight. You know, you definitely saw, you know, some action. But like Teddy Atlas, he goes on to say, you know, pump the brakes. You know, he stated that PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder advisor Al Heyman, Showtime President of Sports Steven Espinosa, carefully picked David LEMIEUX because they knew this was going to be the outcome. He stated that David LEMIEUX is a game fighter that always comes forward, okay? Is a very aggressive fighter regardless of what's happening, what's taking place, you know what I mean? So with that said, you know, David LEMIEUX is always coming forward, okay? It's never much back down in David LEMIEUX. And so with that said, you know, and he does have power. So, but like Teddy Atlas said, he was tailor-made for David Benavidez, okay? And he stated that everybody is now all of a sudden suddenly labeling David Benavidez as the next greatest thing and the Mexican monster and, you know, the greatest fighter to come out of Mexico. And he's saying that, you know, we got to pump the brakes. He need to fight some better opposition, and he need to fight some bigger names. And he's a very big guy. So Teddy Atlas, he stated, which this is something I don't agree with. Teddy Atlas said that David Benavidez needs to move up to 175 and challenge undefeated 43-0 fighter, or Mexican superstar fighter, Zurdo Ramirez, okay? So he said that he needs to fight Zurdo Ramirez, go up to 75, he's young, then come back down to 68. Now that's where I differ with Teddy Atlas. I don't think that David Benavidez, if he can make 168, then why does he have to go up to 175, okay? That's a skill set in itself. And, you know, he said that David Benavidez keeps saying he can't get the big fights, so maybe he needs to go up to 75. And then he stated that he sees that it's not going to be a challenge with him against Caleb Plant or any other 168-pounders for that matter. He stated that the only challenge would be 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer who is currently the undisputed super middleweight world champion, Saul Canelo Alvarez. He stated, but He always felt that Canelo Alvarez needed to go through David Benavidez to officially be the best super middleweight and world champion in that division, because David Benavidez, he never lost his titles in the ring, right? So you can't claim to be the best fighter in that division when you never beat the best fighter in the division who lost his titles outside the ring and on the scale, okay? And so then he goes on to say that, another fight, well, he goes on to say that, Canelo Alvarez is not eager to get in the ring. Canelo Alvarez is carefully, strategically picking, his opponent, and David Benavidez is not on that list, okay? We know Canelo Alvarez, September 17th, he's going back into a fight with Gennady Triple G Golovkin in their trilogy. That's September 17th. Then he stated that he wants to go back up to 175 and challenge Dimitri Bivol, who he lost to in his last fight in a rematch, okay? So if he did fight, against David Benavidez, it wouldn't be till 2023. He stated that, Teddy Atlas stated that the man to beat David Benavidez and give him a challenge is undefeated two-division world champion superstar boxer Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. I was shocked, right, when he said this, okay, because I thought, he was going to talk about undefeated two-division world champion superstar boxer Jamal Lyons Only Charlo. But he stated that he don't see anybody outside of Zurdo Ramirez, Canelo Alvarez, and then he said Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, right? He said that Andrade is not the most exciting fighter, in the ring. He's not the most entertaining. He stated, but he is definitely skilled. He's big. And he's talented. Andrade is a southpaw. He's slick. He said Andrade is an Olympian, which he is. Demetrius Andrade is now 31 wins, no loss, no draw. 19 wins by way of knockout. 34 years of age, 6'1" with a 74-inch arm. So he's just as tall as David Benavidez, just as rangy as David Benavidez. But obviously, David Benavidez is a natural 168-pounder. Andrade was actually, excuse me, Demetrius Andrade was actually supposed to go up to 168 in his next fight against Zach Parker, but he had suffered a shoulder injury, which saw him removed from the fight, okay, and the fight postponed, because he was actually supposed to fight the same day as David Benavidez. He was supposed to fight on the 21st, okay, against Zach Parker, but he suffered a shoulder injury, and that was going to be his debut for the WBO, World Boxing Organization, super middleweight mandatory position. And Demetrius Andrade, he's made it abundantly clear he would love to fight David Benavidez as well. David Benavidez, he stated that he would love to fight Demetrius Andrade as well. But his manager and promoter in Samson Liquid, he said that what Teddy Atlas knew he was going to say, in which he said Andrade don't care about entertaining the fans. He's born in the ring. Only thing he care about is securing a victory, and that's not a fight, an avenue they're looking to go down. And he stated that they would need $10 million to start negotiating a fight with Demetrius Andrade, who's a big, tall, slick southpaw, right? And so Teddy Atlas, he feels like Demetrius Andrade can win that fight. He said now it would be a lose-lose situation for David Benavidez, because people are going to say that David Benavidez is too big. He should have won the fight. He's not going to get credit for it, and if he struggles, they're going to say he was exposed. Well, I beg to differ, because Demetrius Andrade is a big middleweight. Okay, he's not a small middleweight to begin with. So I beg to differ. I think that people will give him credit for beating. They would give him credit for beating him. So with that said, Demetrius Andrade is a very good fighter, and I like that fight. I think that skill-wise, Demetrius Andrade has every bit of what it takes to beat a David Benavidez. Like Teddy Atlas stated that you can't crown this guy the best and a Mexican monster until he actually beats fighters. This was a perfectly matched fight with David Lemieux. And so he stated that, Demetrius Andrade is the guy, because Demetrius Andrade is slick. He has quick feet, quick hands. He says he's not the most exciting fighter, which I agree. He's not, overly exciting, but Demetrius Andrade is exciting, right? He's not all the way boring. When you can't hit a guy and engage with a guy, he's labeled as boring, So, but I think the foot movement the southpaw stance, the power, the accuracy, the ring IQ of Demetrius Andrade will give David Benavidez problems, especially if he's able to weather the storm when David Benavidez pressures him. David Benavidez has very fast hands, combination punching, so I do think that there will be an interesting fight. And Teddy Atlas, he feels like that's the guy to challenge him. If not, he needs to leave the division. I would love to see that fight. David Benavidez and his father, Jose Benavidez Sr., they stated that they are the managers, they are in charge. Samson works for them. So if Demetrius Andrade fight presents itself, they're more than open and willing to make the fight. But obviously, Andrade is injured. We don't know when he's going to come back and what's going to happen next. So let's see how this all unfolds and plays out. Do you agree with Teddy Atlas? That's all I got for y'all, man. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, and get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share your videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.